this, right? I noticed that yesterday when I was performing, I kept screaming. And that's because I really felt like I felt like y'all couldn't hear me. Like, performing in a stadium is definitely different than performing in an arena, honey. But that's gonna be my goal. I'm gonna make that as a goal. One of my goals is to have a show, a Cardi B show, a real Cardi B show at a stadium. I don't know if I could do it, but I definitely see the difference. Like, god damn, I felt like nobody could hear me. Everything was echoing. But next time.
Cardi B just came out and admitted she wasn't fully happy with her Essence Festival performance. And honestly, respect for saying it out loud, because a lot of artists would never. They'd let the promo clips do the talking and move on. Cardi went on live and broke it all the way down, from why she was screaming through the whole set to what she's already planning to do different next time. So if you were at Essence and you noticed something felt off, or if you caught the clips online and had questions, let's get into it. Here's what happened. Cardi performed at the Essence Festival in New Orleans, and if you watched any of the footage, you probably noticed she was yelling. Like, a lot. Not in a hype way. In a way that made people do a double take. Fans in the comments were saying things like, "I thought she was just excited to be there, but the screaming was way too much." Others said it wasn't giving the same energy as her Little Miss Drama tour, where she genuinely put on a show. And Cardi heard all of that. Instead of ignoring it, she got on live and explained what was going on from her side. She said performing in a stadium is completely different from performing in an arena, and she didn't fully understand that difference going in. The sound was echoing. She couldn't hear herself. She said she felt like the audience couldn't hear her either, so she kept pushing her voice trying to compensate. She put it plainly, "I felt like nobody could hear me. Everything was echoing." That's actually a real technical issue that artists deal with when they perform in large outdoor or stadium-style venues for the first time. The sound system dynamics are completely different. What works in an arena, your delivery, your timing, your mic technique, doesn't automatically translate to a stadium. The delay alone can throw off someone who hasn't navigated it before. The difference is that most people watching don't know that. From the crowd's perspective, they just see an artist who seems off. And from Cardi's perspective, she's working twice as hard to be heard, while the performance is slipping away from her in real time. Now, to be fair, her Little Miss Drama tour showed she can genuinely perform. That tour got good reviews. People came out and said she brought real energy, real production, and real effort. So this wasn't a case of Cardi not being a performer. It was a case of a specific venue creating a specific problem she hadn't encountered before. And she was honest about that. She said she could have done better. She didn't blame the venue and leave it there. She said the experience taught her something, and she's already treating it like a goal, to come back and do a full Cardi B stadium show the right way, once she knows the tricks of making it work at that scale. That kind of accountability is not something every artist is willing to put on live for their audience. She said she was a little mad at herself. She said it directly, and then she moved forward. What's interesting about how Cardi processes things is that she doesn't really separate the performer side of herself from everything else going on in her life. She said she loves performing in a way that goes all the way back. When she was a dancer, when she was in school, she was always performing her ass off. She said something that actually made sense. She gives more energy at a live show than she does in rehearsal. The adrenaline of a real crowd pulls something out of her that practice can't recreate. She called it getting possessed. Said she doesn't know what it is, but once she's in front of people, she's locked in. That's genuinely what great performers describe. The crowd becomes the fuel, which is what made the Essence situation frustrating for her. She went in with that same love for performing, that same want to deliver, and the technical side of the venue worked against her. She said after her BET performance, which she admitted she hates doing because TV makes her nervous, she was actually excited about Essence. Like, genuinely looking forward to it, and then it didn't go the way she wanted. She said, "I did all right, I could have done better." That's honest in a way that's actually kind of rare. Then she shifted into something completely different, and this is the part of the live that a lot of people are also talking about. Cardi showed off a necklace she called the Blossom Necklace, a piece with a pink diamond she had made to represent her daughter Blossom. She said whenever you see her wearing baby pink, she's repping her youngest daughter. It's a small detail, but it landed because it was clearly genuine. She wasn't performing for the camera in that moment. She was just a mom showing off something she had made for her kid. And from there, she started talking about her kids in a way that was completely unfiltered. and honestly kind of beautiful to watch. She has 4 children now, and she said without any hesitation that she doesn't have a favorite. She pushed back on the whole "everybody has a favorite child" conversation that was going around on social media. She said all 4 of her kids have their own personalities, their own humor, their own little things, and she's obsessed with all of them equally. She specifically talked about baby Brim, her son, saying she's ready for the world to see him and that he's a heart snatcher. You can hear in how she talks about her kids that this is not a public persona thing. This is genuinely how she feels. She said she FaceTimes them when she's away because they're just that funny to her. She misses them even when she's only been gone a short time. For someone who has had as much going on publicly as Cardi B has, the legal situations, the relationship timeline, the constant media attention, hearing her talk about her kids with that much clarity and warmth is a real reminder that there's a whole side of her that exists outside of the headlines. She also touched on whether she's planning more kids. Short answer, not anytime soon. She said having Blossom and baby Brim back-to-back did a number on her body. After Blossom, she said she was walking around like nothing. After baby Brim, she was in bed for a week, couldn't stand up, and couldn't get to the bathroom on her own. She said her body just wasn't ready for babies that close together. When the interviewer brought up whether she'd have more, she said maybe around 37, but not now. She put it bluntly in the way only Cardi can, saying her body needs time to recover before she even thinks about it again. That level of honesty about postpartum recovery and how physically demanding pregnancy is, especially back-to-back, is something a lot of moms relate to, but don't often hear celebrities talk about directly. Cardi said it like it was nothing, which is exactly why it lands the way it does. So when you pull back and look at everything she covered in this live, the Essence performance, what went wrong technically, what she plans to do about it, the necklace for Blossom, the obsession with her kids, the postpartum reality, what you're actually seeing is an artist who is figuring out a new chapter. She's been through a lot in the last couple of years. She's been in and out of court. Her personal life has been public in ways most people couldn't handle. She stepped back from music for a stretch, and now she's coming back on stage, doing festivals, talking about planning a full stadium show, and in the same breath telling you she had to lay in bed for a week after her last delivery. That's not someone who's fallen off. That's someone who is rebuilding in real time, being completely honest about where she's at, and making it clear she's not done. The Essence performance wasn't her best. She said so herself, but she walked away from it with a goal, a plan, and the energy to make it happen. For someone who taught herself everything about performing through instinct and love for it, learning the stadium game is just the next level. And if Little Miss Drama Tour showed anything, it's that when Cardi is dialed in, she genuinely delivers. Whether you were at Essence or just following along from the clips, what did you think? Did you clock the screaming? Or did you think she still held it down? Drop your take in the comments. And if you want more Cardi updates broken down like this, subscribe because we stay on it